Hey, what's up guys? It's Rulk here. We're gonna be going over a posterior chain workout for beginners. I have my Pro 100s from PowerBlock and the adjustable kettlebells. We'll be using both of these through the workout. These are amazing. I use them all the time. It's what I have in my own gym. So let's get after it. The first movement we're gonna be doing is an RDL, a Romanian deadlift. We're gonna be utilizing the kettlebells for this. Because we're a beginner, we wanna make sure weight is not something that I'm really focused on. It's much more about the movement, understanding the movement, etc. As far as the rep range and the sets, we're gonna be doing, on these 5 movements, we'll be doing 4 sets of 15 reps. So this first one, I'm gonna even move the weight. On these adjustable kettlebells, they have 44, 53, and 62. I'm gonna go light so that you guys can just understand that it's really not about the weight, it's really about the technique and getting it right. The great thing about these adjustable kettlebells is I can move very quickly from, it's almost like 3 sets of kettles in one. So we'll take this first one here in this position. We're gonna put it right in front of us. So as far as the rest periods, we're gonna do, again, 4 sets. We'll do 15 reps and we'll do a 30-second rest in between where you can catch our breath and I can correct anything that we're going through it. We're gonna work out together today. So first thing on the RDL, positioning wise, you want your knees bent slightly. We're gonna be hinging at the hip. So as we're hinging on the hip, we wanna make sure we push our butt back. Do not lock your knees out. Head is neutral as we move the position. So as I pick this up, what I usually tell people to do is the first step is don't even grab the weights, let's just move through the movement. So I'm hinging back here, head neutral, squeezing my glutes on the way up. Don't overextend at the top, keep that spine neutral. So what we wanna do is coming down, hips back, drive those hips back, drive up there. Okay, here we go, let's get it. So I'm gonna grab them, here, positioning, let's do it. So we're coming here, squeeze one. Making sure with these positionings that as we go through it, we're using our hamstrings. Good. That posterior chain is so important. 8, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. So as we come up, we're gonna start our 30 seconds here on this positioning. When you're going through that, you should feel that stretch on your hamstrings and your glutes. That's our targeted area. The posterior chain is so important, specifically for our lower end body and our power movements that we do, for athletics, for anything we're doing, even for people that aren't specifically in athletics. You know, reaching down, a lot of people pull their back, reaching down, grabbing their keys off the ground, picking up groceries, etc. So we wanna make sure we get it done this way. Here we go, ready? Picking it back up, bend our knees, start position, bend our knees again, hinging back. Five, here we go. Good. Again, let's rest. Deep breath. Take it easy. Through this motion, you'll feel a lot of strain in your butt in that area. So we want to make sure as we punch through this that you guys are watching your form. As things happen, you want to make sure that our form doesn't go out the window. Make sure you maintain good form on this. We have that 30-second rest period, but again, on a beginner level, if it's 45 seconds, a minute, it doesn't really matter for me at this point. I just want to make sure that you get the right movement going. Movement is medicine. Let's not overcomplicate the exercise. When you're ready to go, like on this one, a little bit longer the rest period, just because I'm talking to you, same thing. Catch your breath. Don't worry about it too much. When you guys are ready to go, we'll rock and roll. So again, as you lift it, because now you're getting a little fatigued, get in the right position here. Line it up, stretching out. So what happens lots of times as we're getting tired here, one of two things. We're gonna start bending down more, Or what happens is you start utilizing too much of your low back. So again, carry the load. You want to lean back, push your hips back as we're dropping into it, okay? So here we go. This position, we're up. Okay, position, slightly bent knees, drive those hips back. Squeeze the glutes. Good. You do not want to lock out your knees on the bottom. 5. Get it. Perfect. Now, again, as we're going this, load is not a major issue. I'm not gonna worry so much about the breast. You talk about 30 seconds, I said it before, but if you have to a minute, 2 minutes, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do this next one with only one kettlebell. So again, the one thing I want you to get into this is understanding that load is not in the equation, okay? That's the last concern of us. Want technique, proper form, making sure our breath pattern is good, and keeping in line with the technique. So, as we had before, 2 hands on the kettle. With one hand, all we're doing is 2 hands on one kettle, okay? So instead of going by both toes, right in the middle, feet about shoulder width apart, and we're leaning again. Here we go. Last set. Slight modification based on load. Again, if you have to make modifications, a lot of people like to do that. 4th set as the muscle starts to get fatigued a little bit. Here we go. Picking it up, positioning, here we go. Chest up, bend knees slightly, drive the hips back, squeeze up. Squeeze your glutes. Good. There it is. Here we go, 5 more. Beautiful. All right, guys, now in this next one, we're gonna be doing a single RDL. So let's put these back into the rack. Very easy. When I'm storing it, I like to store it with the pin on the bottom, just to make sure that we don't lose that pin. So we're going here. That's how it adjusted. So as you see, it's a nesting area. So you can put the nest back on here, drop it all the way down, put the pin in. For this next one, for the single RDL, a lot of people, what I tell people to do is you can hold on to the rig or a bar if you need to, but as you're dropping down, we're on a single leg, and usually counterbalance will have the weight on our other leg. Coming down bent, driving down, low, back up. You could touch, point here, and drive up. It's that hinging that we want to focus on. So on this one, with our PowerBlock 100s, we can go to the lightest weight if we wanted to. So on this one, we can get on this weight right here, and I'll show you how to use it. So again, we'll start off with the left leg, driving down here and up. Hinge down, up. 4, 5, good. Now see how I'm touching. Back, touch. If you can hover in the back, it's fine. All we're trying to focus on is that posterior chain. 5 more. I'm going to switch sides. As we do this, guys, again, a lot of modifications as a beginner. The focus is working on the glutes, that posterior chain. So counterbalance, a lot of people like to put their hand on the outside. Here, drive up. Not having a stiff leg. Again, bent leg, hinging, down with their hip, drive up. So again, guys, as you start to fatigue on this from a beginner level, we can use this for holding as well. So on this next set, I'm going to have you guys use no load so you understand. I usually like to do this if I'm going to drive forward and for example, my right leg is going to be the load leg, then I offset it here, holding on the left side. So I'll hold down, hinging down, drive up, hinging down. Five. Good, guys. Hinge down, good. Head neutral. Perfect. Back up, switch legs again. Here, loading on my left, holding with the right. I try to push out a little bit. Again, even for someone like me that trains every day, I love going through range of motion, making sure I'm hinging. Drive. You just will feel it as you go through this on your hamstrings. I like to push my hips back and lift my chest a little bit because then it forces me to drive my hips back. So again, that was the second rep modification. You can use it. I had it at the 20. I've used the bar. I can even go back to load, putting this back into my Power 100s, taking out the pin, and just using the handle. This is totally fine as well. So the great thing about the Power 100s and all PowerBlock products is how quickly you can adjust. Usually I'd have to go search for another dumbbell. I don't have to do that here. So let's get after it again. Try it again. 30-second rest is where we're about. If you have to go a little longer, totally fine. So pressing that dumbbell against our off leg, loading into my left, dumbbell press against my right, coming across, lean, forward. Again, touching on the bottom is totally fine with your toe. Boom, tap, tap, tap. So as we go through this, if you go through, so I'm going through, here we go, 8, 9, 10, you start fatiguing, go ahead and put that weight down and refocus. You can either go use a handle or bar, or you can just right where you're at. Hinge. Perfect. Posterior chain should be firing now, guys. So, next position, let's even it out. Do the same thing on this side. So I'll use the 10-pound PowerBlock dumbbell. As I load down, knee bent, hips back, glute drive up. Again, I'll drop that 10-pound weight. Just use the body weight again. Here we go. And as you're going, even like me right there, you start to lose your balance a little bit, totally fine. Sometimes when you're doing RDLs, some people like to be barefoot just to be able to use their feet, or you can wear shoes, totally fine. On our last set, let's get back to the bar. We're gonna punch all the way through this. Now that you understand the modifications, using the dumbbell or using body weight, totally fine. Let's punch through this last 15 on the left and right, and we'll get into the next movement, the kettlebell swing, okay? So here we go. Left leg, let's move it. So I'm gripping it. Some people like to grip it high. I grip it right across here at chest level. Good job, guys. Here we go. Five more, here we go. Other side, here we go, guys. Let's get it. So, as you saw on that side, we're going through. I can either use the offhand or the lead leg to hold for the grip. Go whatever feels most comfortable for you. But again, knee slightly bent, driving the hips back, using the glutes to pull you forward. Last one, guys. Beautiful. All right. So now we're gonna get into the kettlebell swings. We did the Romanian deadlift, and then we did single leg RDLs. Now we're gonna be moving into kettlebell swings. What I like to do with the kettlebell swings, and again, gonna use it very light so that you guys can see the technique. Back to the 44, and let's go through this. So this casting system is kind of crazy. As you're putting it down, you see those holes, just drop it down to get it. So on this one, kettlebell swings. What I tell people on kettlebells, a lot of people will use it. There's a lot of different ways to do kettlebell swings. You hear about the European style, US style. For me, especially for posterior chain, it's really using the hips to drive it forward. So as I'm doing it, I usually try to tell people to start off so you understand how it feels. Spread your feet a little longer, the shoulder width apart. I usually use a wall, but you can do it here without. You want to try to get your butt as high as you can get it there, and then shift your hips back, and you'll feel that stretch in your hamstrings. That's the stretch you want to feel here as you squeeze your glutes forward, okay? So as we do in this positioning, it's like hiking a lot of people like to do a setup swing before they start. 2 hands on the bell, setup swing like I'm hiking the football, boo, up. So I'm only swinging forward once I make contact. Head is neutral, I'm hinging. Five more. Perfect. Again, kettlebell swings. You see people do single arm kettlebell swings, 2 hands, especially when you're first starting out. 2 is a lot easier. The thing I love about the PowerBlock dumbbells and the PowerBlock kettlebells is that the handles and the way it's shaped is very different than your traditional kettlebell. So it's a lot easier when you're doing swings, a lot easier to grab. There's not that rounded side straight across, okay? So I'll face this way. For the next 15 again, hinging. Once I come here and it makes contact with my inner thighs, drives my hips back like a rubber band, and then driving my hips forward, okay? So here we go. This position, that setup hike, back up. My head is neutral, don't keep your head up. I keep my head down, 40-degree angle up. There it is. Cool, we have one more of these, and then I'm gonna show you, we're gonna do single leg glute bridge, okay? So there'll be a variation on the glute bridge. I'll actually show you the regular standard glute bridge, and then we do 1 set with a single leg. Kind of an ISO, similar how we did the RDL, single leg RDL, okay? So last one, gonna go straight at you. with the kettle. Again, this positioning. Here we go, guys. Hiking it through. 1. My arms are just relaxed because my hips doing all the work. So, looking at it, 1, 2, 3, almost got that last set. So we'll do one more set. So you guys have 4 on this one. Again, as I'm going through, there's no shoulder raise for me. I'm not using my shoulders to drive it up. I'm using my hips. So we'll get after it. You guys ready? Deep breath, breathe through your nose, breathe out. You guys are doing amazing. Posterior chain work. Get that posterior chain strong. Right, here we go. 2. All right, guys. So we'll put this back. Again, super easy to store. Kettlebells are amazing. Lock it in. When I'm storing, I usually put the pin on the bottom just to make sure I don't lose that pin. So we're gonna be doing the glute bridge. On this glute bridge, I usually like to use a bench. You can do it off the floor as well. I find that the range of motion is a little bit better when I'm doing it on a bench. So let me show you how to use this. This position, this first set, I get my rhomboids, my shoulders on here. We dropping my hips down and driving it up. Hips down, up, 2. Focus on squeeze the glutes. Drop down. So I'm not going straight down, I'm almost driving my hips underneath the bench. Here. 5. There it is. Squeeze, squeeze. Come on, here we go. Posterior chain should be on fire, guys. There it is. So, again, on this, we did 1 set there, 2 legs. You could change it and do single legs if you want. With the ISO, increases the range of motion a little bit. It really isolates one side at a time. So when I'm doing that, I'm gonna position here. The other leg is floaty, and I'm just driving up. So I'll go 5. You can do this one too. You could do 5 on the right, 5 on the left, and then 5 with both. Two sets in, guys. So again, we'll do 2 more of those. For a beginner, most of the time it's a little bit easier if you're utilizing 2 legs rather than isolating on 1, just because sometimes there's gonna be a muscular imbalance. One leg stronger than the other, it's natural. All of us have one arm stronger than the right, stronger than the left. You're right-handed, left stronger than the right if you're left-handed, etc. So let's do 2 more of these and we'll get into the last thing. Here we go, guys. So this position, 1, 2. You can increase the intensity by increasing the tempo if you want. So, again, when we take load out of the equation as a beginner and we focus on technique, a lot of things we can do there. Increase tempo. You know, we can utilize different modalities. We can combinations of body weight and change and compound lifts. A lot of different things. I think so many times when you're starting on a new program, so focused on weight. And again, some muscles are stronger than the other. That's why PowerBlock's amazing. I integrate it into all my training is that I can adjust it very quickly and I'm getting multiple sets of weights You know what I mean? Rather than just getting one where I have to store it all over the place. Here we go. Last set, guys. This position. Here we go. I like to try to keep my hands right here. So sometimes when you go farther out, you tend to rock all the way back. I like to keep it here. All right, guys, so we're on to the last movement. Again, posterior chain. Everyone's always focused on the hamstrings, very important. But as you know, the backs, the booty, the butt's here. So I work on my step ups. On this one, 4x15s, we can get it. Put one leg up on this positioning. I'll move this way so you guys can see a little bit better. As I'm stepping up here, driving it, you want it at an angle where I can drive out of my glute. You don't want it too high, you don't want it too low. So on this positioning, I'm focusing, driving weight into my heel, up, drive down, lower yourself down, up. Perfect. Good job, guys. Switching up. Let's go, come on. Beautiful. All right, guys, on these ones, as a beginner, a lot of times I'm sure you guys have done online programs and different apps. As you know, I've been on different apps as well. And all the feedback I've gotten on workouts is, you know, they'll do it and they'll say, just couldn't complete the workout. Couldn't finish it because it was too hard, got too hard. So again, I'm more about consistency and completion. So if you get into a situation, especially on the beginner level, where you're not able to finish out the sets, the reps, let's get through the exercises and you can always lower it down. So if you're gonna get 15 on this, guys, totally fine. But if you need to modify it, like on this one, you could do 12, 10, 8. I would try on this one particularly, don't go lower than 8. So 8 to 15 reps is totally fine. And I'll show you how much faster it is. We'll shorten the rest time on these next two so you see the difference. It's still hard and you're still getting it done. So in this position, hands here, 1, 2. Switch. Good. Deep breath. Okay, let's finish this off, guys, really fast here. We're gonna do an 8, and then we're gonna shoot right off to another 8 after this. We'll finish it off, get this bad boy done. Let's go. 1, 2. So we got 8. Because we're on the last rep, let's shorten that rest time. Deep breath. Let's get right back into it. Deep breath. Last one, let's finish it off together. We got this. 8, each side. Other side now. Deep breath. Keep it in, blow it out. All right, guys, that was a full workout, a little over 30 minutes. Proud of you. Get it done. Consistency, consistency, consistency. We'll see you next time.
Hey, did you like this video? Awesome. Don't forget to like and subscribe below and hit that notification bell so that whenever we launch a new video, you're notified.